everyone, it's Amy and welcome back to my channel where today we are taking a little bit more of an in-depth look into the Konmari method of decluttering and tidying up. If you subscribe to my channel or if you've been watching my videos, then you may know that I've been on a decluttering journey. It's been long, it's been arduous, but it has been weirdly very fun. And recently I started using the Konmari method to help me get through all the junk in a more systematic and better way. I've put out quite a few kind of declutter with me videos where I go through, I show you the process, we do it together, and I've been trying to kind of talk through why I'm doing things a certain way, how it relates back to the Konmari method, but a few of you have requested that I do a sit down video where I go through kind of the ins and outs of this whole process. What even is the Konmari method? Why is it better than other methods? Is it actually better than other methods? What does it entail? I will be answering all of these questions and more in today's video. So if you want to find out more about the Konmari method, just keep watching. If you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe for more fun with junk, I guess. Because we've been doing a lot of that recently. So the Konmari method is a method invented by a lady called Marie Kondo, and she wrote this book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I don't have a physical copy to show you because I got mine on an audiobook, but I'll leave a link down below on Amazon so you can go check it out. I've always considered myself to be someone who's pretty good at decluttering and organising my stuff. It's not something I've ever found particularly difficult, but a lot of the things that come into play in the Konmari method are things that I never would have thought of doing. And now that I've started doing them, I'm like, where was this my whole life? This would have made things a heck of a lot easier. I know it can seem a little bit strange to have such specific and stringent rules when it comes to throwing out your old jeans. And the Konmari method is quite strict and very precise. But once you start doing it, you realize that actually it is so productive and so rewarding. That might sound bizarre, but if you've done it, you know. So the aim of the Konmari method is not just to get rid of a bunch of stuff, but to get to a point where your environment is full of stuff that brings you joy and that makes you happy. Okay, so what is the Konmari method? What does it actually entail? What do you actually do to do the Konmari method? I'm about to tell you. So before you even begin decluttering, before you get your recycling bags out, before you even try and throw anything away, you need to envision what you want your life to be like and why. This is a big thing that Marie Kondo talks about kind of at length in the book, is that you need to understand why you are going through this whole process. You need to visualize what you want your life to look like at the end, and that is going to help you. Not only that, but you really need to question, well, why do you want your life to be that way? And she says you should keep interrogating your reasons and kind of filter it down from a very broad reason. Oh, I just want to be decluttered, right the way down to a very specific reason. So for instance, for me, one of my things was I want to have less stuff that I don't use. Why? Because it'll be easier to find stuff that I actually do need to use. Why does that matter? Well, because then I'll be wasting less time rummaging through drawers and getting stressed and frazzled. Okay, why is that important to you, Amy? Well, that is important to me because I'm always late, and maybe if I had less stuff to rummage through, then I would actually be on time. So you see, funneling it through to get to a very specific reason or a very specific idea of what you want your life to look like. So once you've done that, you can actually move on to the decluttering process. And like I said, it is very specific. You don't just go in crazy, declutter whatever you want, you're there and everywhere. Oh no. That's not the way we do it in the Konmari method. So one of the big things that makes the Konmari method different from other methods of tidying up or decluttering is that you are not decluttering by location, you are decluttering by category. So instead of saying, okay, today I'm going to go through and declutter the bathroom cabinet, then tomorrow I'll do the cupboard under the stairs. So instead of doing that, you work through category by category, and everything that falls within that one category, you bring it all together from the separate locations where you keep that stuff, if that makes sense. And you work through those categories in a very specific order. So first you do clothing, then books, then papers, then kimono, which is miscellaneous items, and then your sentimental items come last because those are the hardest to part with. Okay, so it's your first day of decluttering, you are ready to go, you know you've got to start with clothing because that's what Marie Kondo says you gotta start with. You are thinking, okay, what do I do now? How do I begin this whole process? So firstly, Marie Kondo says that you should dress up because it is a big event and you want to kind of honor it by looking your best. If you've seen any of my personal decluttering videos, you will know I kind of skip past that because I just don't have time to spend half an hour contouring my face to go throw out my jeans, you know? I mean, I love you, Marie Kondo, but it's just not gonna happen. So you dress up all fancy, or don't, you know, no judgment from me. And then you gather together every item you own that falls into that category. So for your clothing, you go through your wardrobes, you go through your drawers, you go through any bins you might have in the attic with like seasonal wear up there. You get everything together. This is important because Marie Kondo says anything that you forget about during this process, like a spare t-shirt that's like at the back of the airing cupboard that doesn't get brought into the pile, she says you obviously didn't care enough about that item to remember it, and therefore you gotta get rid of it. Like, you don't even get a choice. Like, if you don't remember it, it's gotta go. So you really want to make sure that you scour the house and bring everything together. By this point, you will have some kind of crazy mountain of stuff piled up in front of you, and it is overwhelming, to say the least. It's so much more effective than kind of going through your clothes while they're already in the wardrobe, or just like peeking in the drawer and like picking stuff out that you don't want anymore, because you are forced to come face to face with just how much stuff you own. And if you've seen my videos, you know there was a lot of stuff. Immediately it makes you want to get rid of stuff because, I mean, I felt ashamed. I felt completely overwhelmed. It was quite a strangely emotional experience, actually. And then you have to actually be confronted with each and every item. You have to handle each and every item. And when you do that, Marie Kondo says that you should look at it, you should feel it, you should touch it, and you should ask yourself, does this item spark joy? We're not thinking with our heads this time, we're thinking with our hearts, which was a little bit difficult for me at first because I had always decluttered based on practical thinking. So maybe I liked something, but if I hadn't used it recently, I would get rid of it. Or maybe there were things I didn't like, but I used them regularly, so I kept them anyway, even though they didn't look particularly nice on me or they were uncomfortable, but you know, hey, let's keep them because I use them. No. This time it's all about, does this spark joy or not? If something sparks joy, then you put it in your keep pile. If something does not spark joy, then you gotta say, thanks for fulfilling your purpose, and now, like, move on. Those weren't the official words, but that was my interpretation. She tells you to thank the items. In Marie Kondo's world, items have feelings, and you gotta be respectful. I'm not gonna comment on that, but just know that that's what that is. One thing that really struck a chord with me reading this book was that Marie Kondo says that every item that comes into your life has a specific purpose to fulfill, and you might not necessarily know what that purpose is. You might think that you know, but you might not know. So for instance, when someone gives you a gift, say someone gives you a handbag and you don't particularly love it, you feel like the purpose of that gift is for you to use the handbag, right? You know, you feel like you've got to use it a bunch of times because you feel obligated. You feel like that is the purpose that it needs to fulfill. Actually, what Marie Kondo says is that that gift, even if you never use it, has already fulfilled its purpose, because the purpose was to let you know that the person who gave you the gift loved you and was thinking of you. That made things a lot easier for me, because I would hold on to things thinking, I haven't worn this enough, I haven't used this enough, how can I get rid of something that still has the tags on it? And she says, hey, don't worry. Sometimes the purpose of an item isn't to use it to death. Sometimes it's to just teach you, hey, buy less stuff that's in the sale because you don't always wear it, or that someone was thinking of you and that they love you. So once you've gone through, you've got your pile of stuff to go, get it out of the house, and your pile of stuff that you're gonna put back into like the wardrobe or the bookshelf or whatever. Now, Marie Kondo has very specific ideas about how you store things, particularly clothing. There are a bunch of videos on YouTube that will show you how to fold as per the Konmari Method. And she also suggests that you fold as much as you can because your clothes will feel uncomfortable if they're hanging up. I'm sorry, guys. They are all hanging there and it's making you uncomfortable, but I just don't have room to fold everything, so most of my clothes have to hang. You just gotta be practical. But one thing I took from the method that I thought I would hate, but actually love, is she says that when you put things into drawers, you need to obviously fold them. She's big into the folding, as I've already said. And then instead of stacking them one on top of the other, which is how I have always put things in drawers, you should kind of stack them this way so that when you open the drawer, you can see everything that's in there in one glance. Originally, I hated this because it seemed to take up too much room. I thought that it would get very messy, but actually, I have to hand it to Marie Kondo. This is a genius idea and it works really well. So that's what you do. You work through category by category, thinking about what brings you joy and what doesn't bring you joy. And it seems like a very simple method, and it is. I mean, it's not complicated, but man, oh man, does it make a difference. I just can't believe the amount of stuff that I've gotten rid of. Considering I'd already started one round of decluttering earlier on in the year. I'd already gotten rid of 3 bin bags of clothes, and yet I came back, did the Konmari Method, and got rid of another 4 bin bags of clothes. You know, it's crazy. It really does work, and every time I go through and I use this method, I am shocked at how much I'm ready to part with. One more tip that I want to talk about from Marie Kondo today, which really spoke to me, was do not show your family members what you are getting rid of, because they will inevitably kind of rummage through, rummage, and pick things out and be like, I can't believe you're getting rid of this. How can you get rid of that? Are you seriously getting rid of this? All the feelings, they will want to get involved. And I have lived that. I've experienced that firsthand. And it's hard work because it will really eat away at your resolve. I mean, when you first bag things up, I'm a fan of get them out of the house. Even if it's just like put the bags in the boot of the car, ready to take to the charity shop tomorrow. I just can't have them in the house because I don't want to second guess myself. And having a family member come in, aka my mom, come in and say, I can't believe you're getting rid of all this stuff. It can really make you second guess your decisions. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope that it maybe shone some light on this whole mysterious KonMari method. If you haven't read the book, then I definitely recommend it. And please feel free to leave any questions in the comment section. Even if I can't answer them, I'm sure there will be other people here chilling around in the comment section who can maybe help. I hope your decluttering journey is going well. If you are just on the brink of starting, good luck. Let me know how it goes. And until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!